We spoke a little bit about the challenges that leaders face. What do you think is the most difficult part of being a leader?
When you're a leader, knowing or coming to grips with the fact that you can't fix everything. There are going to be times when you need to make decisions that are going to be hard on some people, and knowing that it's very important to be present and support those people.
And how would you lead through change and ambiguity? The last few months have been significant in terms of the changes that we're going through, the uncertain times. Do you have any advice or experience leading in those unprecedented times?
Yeah, as I look back on my career, the roles I've had have been largely about bringing large-scale change. So I'm comfortable with change and ambiguity, but what I've also learned is that many people are not. So taking the time to understand their concerns or even their fears is important and part of honest communication. When leaders have a better understanding of these concerns, they can often adjust the path so it can be a little bit more accommodating for everyone. It may not be perfect, but it can certainly help to make it easier for people. But I also look at change as very positive. It's the way we get to improvement. It's the way we get to a better place. So it's important to keep our eye on the prize. I do worry about patients and families, clinicians and support workers. I know they are, along with our leaders, doing their absolute level best. I also know that they're beyond exhausted, and I have tremendous faith in all of them, and they will get us through this, and our system will be stronger than before COVID. So I think that that's important for us to try to keep in the forefront as we work together to get through this.
Yeah. And you mentioned, you had to make some tough decisions in your own leadership journey. Does a particular decision or some of those tough decisions come to mind that you could give us an example of?
I think the most recent, some of the decisions related to the transformation were examples of decisions that were tough on many people. And being as transparent as possible, not having all of the answers, and trying to support people in their important work every day while having such a distraction was a challenge. But I have to tell you, the resilience of the people that are working in our healthcare system is tremendous. They're there for a reason, and they surprise me and inspire me by keeping their work front and center. So it was also inspiring, but a very challenging time for people, personally and professionally.
That's a common theme that, I hear from a lot of leaders, because whenever you're making those decisions during changes or transformations, it's affecting lives. So, even though it's for the benefit of the organization, sometimes people are losing jobs or changing roles. And, how do you deal with that emotional toll of those sorts of decisions?
I think that is the crux of part of the challenge of leadership, is knowing that you are responsible for those decisions, or that you can balance that, knowing that you've done your level best for people and using the right values and information that you have to do the right thing for as many people as you can.
And I wanted to touch a little bit on this topic of influence, because, as a leader, they say influence is really a key requirement of leadership, because we are always influencing either, our teams or upwards. So how do you get others to accept your ideas, to spread them and go in the direction to meet those goals or objectives for the organization?
Well, I say even better if it's someone else's idea. Often, leadership is about setting the table or creating the space for the dialogue to occur. Most often, it's others that have the right answers through working together with people. And sometimes leaders need to stay out of the way or make a valuable contribution in what I call leading from behind. It's just as valuable.